yeah, so much to thank God for. Thank God for the gift of life. I'm breathing in, breathing out this morning. It's not by might, it's by His grace. Indeed, God is the greatest. Welcome to the month of June. June is the time of being in the Word in a new way for throwing off the coal and dark spots of life. If June night could talk, man, if the night could talk, it would probably boast of its invented romance, the month of June. To read a poem in January is as lovely to walk in June. It's like June passing by July. And I laughed this morning because of the gift of life. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the TBS Thursday morning, June 1, 2023. Welcome to Liberia's biggest breakfast show. Serving breakfast across the land and breadth of the Republic of Liberia. The love of liberty matters here. Let justice be done to all. In the midst of all, country first. Good morning to all of our leaders. Those of you having sleepless dreams, want a better Liberia. It's not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for the country. That was a famous quote that brought Barack Obama in 2008 to the presidency. Good morning, folks. My name is O'Neill. This is O'Neill Roberts, Marka Davis, serving breakfast straight up to 10 o'clock this morning in the midst of country first. Good morning to you. Happy new month. Good morning, Marka. How you doing this morning?
Good morning and happy new month to all of our people following us. New happy new month to you. I think you are the closest right now. So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, help us. Yeah, June passing by July.
Yeah, so it's good to be here. The month has just started and we hope it brings glory. It brings opportunity, and to all of you who are celebrating this month, the likes of Mr. Likeability, Josh, Bowie, and the rest of you guys. My man, my kinsman, Mark Tingma.
Okay.
Mark Tingma is celebrating, I think on the 16th. So happy pre-birthday to all of you.
Okay.
And we are praying that the month of June, like we indicated, brings a lot.
Yes. Happy birthday to Adan. Yes, a very, very strong, decent gentleman. I like to say good morning to you. All June born. I've been searching all the social media. If there are some institutions that have this organization, they can have January Born Association, May Born Association, not May Born Kulana. May Born Association. So I came across this All June Born, one of these government institutions, the National Archive. Yes, they have the All June Born Association. So Facebook reminded us that today is the birthday of Janet Kurman of the Archives. Happy birthday to you. Likeability, Libe.
All the June people.
All the June people there.
No, it's any alert. My man Meta Bia. Yeah, also my kinsman from
someone said I dress like a presidential appointee. But if Josh, we are good morning to you, my black president. If Josh gave me the green letter,
I don't accept it with you. The
I will
time
not
is short.
accept it.
The time is short.
So the way Alfonso get accepted for what I saw. If you receive a presidential appointee at this time, in less than 4 months to election,
only the time is short.
I gotta go for confirmation all. So I shouldn't accept it.
Yeah,
I'll consult my family.
You know that I told almost 3 weeks before the former senator confirmation.
Alfonso gay.
Yeah. So if your letter comes tomorrow, you gotta take on 1 more.
But maybe not for the record sake.
But I didn't know they already.
Look, that was the sweetest confirmation I ever witnessed. Alfonso gay. Yeah, because he been there before. The man said, "No, he's one of us." Yeah, the high Alfonso gave confirmation, like what else? He's one of us, so we can't throw him away. From Senator 1 all the way to Senator, everybody confirm. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
So tomorrow too, they could be out of the Senate and they'll be treated the same way.
Yeah, sure.
But meanwhile, I think it's qualification. Reach up to it. Yes, good morning, folks. A lot of things to talk about this morning. 10 minutes running up to 8 o'clock. Good morning to all of our leaders. If you sleep, sleep and dream better for a better Liberia. I mean, in the midst of all the country, first 131 days to election. I'm seeing the fight. Look, some of the comments there when I'm reading that, yeah, I say, yeah, man. And sometimes enjoying it, but sometimes I go too personal. But attack the issue. If Marka supporting this party, for example, he's a supporter of this the coalition for democratic change, right? And XYZ is supporting the CPP. Attack the issue, go to the issue instead of being so personal. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference with our politics here. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So that is true on you.
The man said, "Don't take the confirmation. Don't accept it."
Don't accept it. Time too short.
But I'll be thinking. I said, "What if I get another one?"
You know about Victor Watson, the former senator of Cummings.
Yeah,
Watson.
Yeah, Watson.
Yeah, he's on record for being the shortest serving senator in Liberia.
Okay.
Well, especially in recent history.
Grandkid man.
Yeah, Grandkid
the one
man.
that Simon.
Yes.
And I didn't mess them on too.
Yeah.
Let us.
Why opponents were saying they say
you should be taking the CPP. Nothing messy. You're going to be
the shortest serving senator in Liberia.
Damn man. When the coalition guys started going out on the social media, they don't begin so humble.
You know, when they say there's power in togetherness, the CPP at the time comprising of the four parties stood together and said, no, we cannot allow Delon to be short-term senator.
They don't, when the coalition, you do the CDC, the law reaction narrating tendency.
And you know, they may always adding that he broke.
Yeah, they don't went straight and knelt down to Joseph Marka. He went to Cummings, he waited. He went to the had the law running all around. He went to Chairman Musa Belete. He said, what? This disgrace can happen to me. They be the shortest. Yes, Marka, good morning, man.
Yeah, good morning to our people. We are here to serve you breakfast this morning, and we hope to bring you the very best. Let me just give the
lineup. Yeah, what's going on this morning?
This morning that we are all aware today is the first day of the month of June. We are going from June we go to July, August, September. We enter October. Damn it. So it is 131 days to election, and we'll throw light in our studio chat. We'll throw light on the city mayor's recent statement pointing fingers at some government officials that he said they are playing double standard, supporting or doing political business with the opposition community, which he said is undermining the re-election bid of President George Weah. And we will also continue with our non-violent message as we all move closer. We're in another month, June. We're going to October. We continue to preach the message of peace and non-violence, because this is the only way we can develop Liberia. You cannot develop a country in a noisy environment. Just for typical example, when the mother and father are in confusion in the home, the children may not eat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Part.
Yeah. So at 10 after 8 to 20 after 8, we'll have talk to your leader on the TBS. We'll give you the opportunity to speak to your leader. 8:20 to 8:50, we'll have a team campaigning against illicit drugs activities in the country. We will have with us this morning in studio on the first segment. Let me get the name for you.
Anti-drugs.
Yes.
Say no to drugs.
Yes, they call them the National Youth Movement Against the Usage of Drugs in Liberia. And Alvin Kikpo will sit with us on the first segment of the TBS this morning. This is all of us concerned. The young people are moving from the classroom to the ghettos, and we must stand against this. The big one.
9 o'clock this morning.
9 o'clock sharp. 9 o'clock sharp. We will have the standard bearer of the collaborating political parties, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, as our guest this morning. We hope to do our very best to give him one of the best interviews you have in recent time. Yeah.
When statement comes on the platform, we treat him like a statement.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes. So you'll see all the whole dress code above, right? Don't go on e-mansion and look for whether I was nominated for the president of Liberia. No. So we have Alexander Benedict Cummings as our guest at 9 o'clock this morning. ABC, the face, the one in the wilderness, crying out from the wilderness. Face of one is coming up on the breakfast show this morning. Alexander Benedict Cummings. He has so much of energy.
And we were asking how
Yeah,
he arrived at
yeah.
that
It's
thick
the energy, man. To survive Liberian politics from 2017 up to present is not something easy. After the election, the man's still on the ground.
If you really want to know what that experience looks like, you can maybe ask Dr. Toba Natipote.
Topa?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Topa do that. Very strong, man. Yeah, the great economics. Yeah. Topa. We'll be after Topa. Yeah, so again, we want to say Azana Benedict Cummings is our guest at 9 o'clock this morning. We will serve breakfast up to 10 a.m. this morning. So the platform is open to every one of us. Everyone. Again, happy birthday to all of from the Jewel Ball, Michael Colin Williams, Adan, a strong reactionary guy, veteran of soup. Happy birthday to you. I see you guys in our chat room flying your birthday greetings. Orlando Blamo, all of you celebrating, man. Yeah, man.
So we have 3 here already.
Yeah, liability.
Like George Boy, Orlando Blamo. All the other people are important.
They're on their own. If you hear they ain't on your own. Anyway, welcome to Some Serious Business now. Again, we want to say good morning to all of our listeners. Yesterday, we had George Winston on this issue about talking about this lesson plate thing. And I think the statement from the Monrovia City Mayor, good morning to you, Jeff Koji. We had to having you on the breakfast show. I've sent a couple of invitations, to the City Mayor of Liberia. I don't know why is it. Almost all of our invitations sent to Koji have been turned down, but yet and still he made 1 or 2 appearances on other network. But that's not the issue. The issue here is that he have said there are some key figures. Good morning to the president. I think he's in country now. Yes. Prezo, your Secretary General of the coalition have said, and quote unquote, he have pointed finger on the Minister of Transport. That the Transport Ministry, that is of course the Transport Minister, they are playing a double game with this government. And maybe to Koji is fast saying something, because a couple of weeks ago we saw what happened at the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunication when Cooper Carr openly came out to support Kuhn when Ambassador Barker was named his running mate. Now the attention are now then turned out to the Minister of Transport. But the thing here is that guessing a lesson plate is a wrong thing. You have the audio there, right?
Yes.
Let's see if you can get the audio.
Yeah.
But now this will make it unsafe, because I placed calls to 1 or 2 workers at the Ministry of Transport, and that press conference from the Senate mayor have not gone down well with the minister. Although the minister had not yet come out publicly to say this, but to be in government as one of the president's cabinet, and finger have been pointed just because a lesson plate came out of the Ministry of Transport. But the Transport Ministry is there to collect revenue. They want to pay police arrest vehicles for not renew their lessons. You need to get insurance, and all of that. So I'm a bit confused of this statement from the Senate mayor. But meanwhile, the Minister of Transport, even if you remain silent, then silent means we are concerned. The finger have been pointed on you directly, and there are several of you, according to the Senate mayor, that you are undermining the re-election of the president. Yes, have you gotten the audio there?
Not yet.
Yes, yes. So if we can get the audio from the city mayor, we have to play. But the continued silence of the Minister of Transport, Samuel Wulu, I mean, you have been one of the longest serving ministers for Ellen Johnson era up to George Weah. Almost now the government is going to election because you printed fix your lesson plate 1, fix your lesson plate 2. Nah? The Secretary General has said you are trying to undermine the president's re-election. Yes, I think you have the audio right. Yes. Let's see who can play this. And we'll have some public reaction to this. Yesterday, Norwich Twelve said, well, you don't mix politics with education. When the mayor also said the high increase in the graduation fee too was a little bit problem too, at this time for the re-election of President Weah. But the president too will be at the UL on tomorrow. He's a visitor. You got it right?
Yes.
Let's see if we can play this out. Here is the city mayor.
Also, you government officials, tell me what you want to tell me, and you think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. People telling you they will pay you from now to January. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle to disengage with, on the basis of that, you sit in this government and you begin to assist and facilitate against the interests of this government. Want to say to you, be forewarned. We were prepared to unmask and shame because it's painful when young people, old people, who go on this caution song and vote for this president and stay bear in mind and remain hopeful. And some of you, as a dental privileged characters, we got no issue with you, but we want you to have a conscience of responsibility, and you must be able to understand that something got you here. You must be loyal to it. To be in transport ministry and be availing yourself to the detriment of this government, you need to be forewarned. The next time we will not forewarn you, the masses of our people will have a solution for something.
You see it? Good morning to you, Sembulu. I mean, you're having some sleepless night with one of the most powerful men within the CDC, making this kind of this lifestyle, and he spoke directly to the Ministry of Transport. So silence being concerned.
And he mentioned doing business with people. You know.
What's your take on it, Mr. Wulu? You don't have to be silent on this one.
Well, again, O'Neill, when Marka named his running mate, Cooper Kura from the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication was there, and Akaras Gray posted that he should, if he elects, he should resign or he will be dismissed. And it didn't take any time; he was dismissed. Right? You know, that's why the legal people got something they call precedent. So sometimes when some of these things happen, we have to draw what happened in previously before we get to where we are. So for me, this is also a threat to the job of Mr. Samuel Wulu, who is the Minister of Transport.
I spoke with people within the Ministry of Transport, and the minister said this thing may have not gone to office.
And it is most likely that he will be replaced because when Akaras Gray spoke the last time the president took action.
Koji powerful.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And in fact, according to my information, Koji is even closer to the president than the Akaras Gray, even though Gray is powerful. Yes, we agree. But the proximity between the president and Koji is closer than that of Gray and the president. So this is now the last time when we pick argument about people working in government as citizens, which is their right under the Constitution. People also said that it is the right, which is also the constitutional right of the president to appoint and dismiss. So, but sometimes we say, look at the issues that lead to the president's action. When it is purely based on politics, when it is political. Like, for example, the business of the Ministry of Transport is to issue lessons.
Yeah, pay taxes.
Okay? Raising money for the government. So if people buy their vehicle, they went and register it, they want this license plate number, and they pay the cost for it, and it is given to them. And a strong figure, a powerful figure in the ruling party comes out to say people are doing double standard. How is that double standard?
So
how is
you're giving a fixer lesson plate 1 and fixer lesson plate 2, so it causes a problem.
Onyu, if it is a problem, then it should not be a problem, in my opinion.
Was it free or what?
It's not free. How is it free? And you and I know that if you are getting ordinary lesson plate number, is less expensive, but if you want a special customized stuff,
I went for saw the transport ministry.
It's more expensive, right?
Each letter costs
$10.
Good. I said no, I'm ready for it.
Good. You understand? So the ministry is also doing its work by raising revenue for the government, and you come out to say that double standard. How is it double standard? So are we going to a point? Are we going to a point where opposition figures will not do business with certain government entities?
Let's take the LRA for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
The LRA is there to collect revenue.
Sure.
So if the collaborating political party or the unity party or any other political party go and pay the revenue and things, so we'll call Thomas Dona. Look, Dona, you want to honor.
Yeah.
No, but there are some people back up. If George Weah wins, fine. If you don't win, if Cummings takes over or Marka take over, there are some people you don't need to replace them. This is what causes the serious problem because of he's now from our political party.
Are we reaching to a point now?
It will happen, yo.
Where the legs of Koji, Representative Carlos Gray, will be telling JFK, do not treat people from CPP, do not treat people from Unity Party, do not treat people from Lino. Are we reaching that point? Because if you are saying they should not issue them lessons, for example, from the Minister of Transport, then we'll reach a point where you tell JFK and other government facilities not to treat opposition figures. Is that where we are going?
The thing is that if XYZ, let me use an example because it's one place that I visit sometimes, all right? If Emmanuel Lomax, for example, to the ICA, is doing extremely well and brought a new dimension in that institution. A different person takes over as president, you shouldn't remove that person. Continue to work until that main long-range plan you have for that institution can go on. Otherwise, that's why you see most ministries, you see information just leaking left and right. Because someone starts something and you just bring new leadership and just take over. But with this kind of thing, Mayor, I mean, man, this one was a little bit harsh, man.
You know this
a disturbing
the administration has been political from the very beginning, to the extent that other political experts were saying, even as ruling party, they were in opposition mode. Is it somebody is telling me
$30 for each letter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, 30. So I want to do my car lesson, please. Say 30 for law. I'm not ready.
You understand?
Man, David Koti now get do 1 letter 30. Koti.
So you say I wanted the country budget to 1 billion or in the billions. People raising money. So for me, this statement is an attack on the minister. Okay, it's an attack on the minister. I describe it as witch hunt.
And we may have some issue with the minister, but now will come in his defense. But to oversee this whole Koji thing, Marka, right? One is the president. President, you need to take charge of this matter. The last time the Minister of Post and Telecommunication was dismissed, right? Now is the Minister of Transport. You need to ask why. I mean, the statement if we play Koji here again, this didn't go down well. A lot of people say no. No, man. You're not taking a lesson play free. This paying tax. You're grading revenue. Let's give this a one more play. Let's give this a
one more play.
Yeah,
one more
play.
Position.
Yeah, position statement.
Yes.
On behalf of your party.
No.
Yeah. What you do? Get high press conference? What?
Yeah. We need to look. We should not overwhelm ourselves as young people. Koji is a very young man.
Yeah, you have life.
Okay, Koji is a very young man. I think I'm even older than Koji.
You know, the police director.
We should not overwhelm ourselves with the issue of politics. Even if we give the CDC 6 years, it will soon pass. Yeah. Okay, and Koji as a young man, after even if CDC leaves for 12 years, Koji will just be in the early 40s.
You know, the police director.
Okay, he have gone nowhere with his life.
No.
Okay.
The police director
said don't create any measure for your future, my young man.
He said, well, look, I have to be careful. I listened to the IG one time on state radio. He said, I have life to live after being police director. The children I'm born in, they'll come after me.
Sure.
They'll still live in the same society. Huh?
And when power leaves you, don't
let me call Nemo.
When power leaves you, even if you pack money to your horse, when power leaves you, power is different. Oh.
Let's get this one more play.
Yeah,
those are you government officials. Tell me what you want to tell me, and you think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. People telling you they will pay you from now to January. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle to disengage with, on the basis of that, you sit in this government and you begin to assist and facilitate against the interests of this government. Want to say to you before war, we were prepared to unmask and shame, because it's painful when young people, old people who go on this caution son and vote for this president and stay bear in mind and remain hopeful. And some of you, as a dental privileged characters, we got no issue with you, but we want you to have a conscience of responsibility, that you must be able to understand that something got you here, you must be loyal to it. To be in transport ministry and be availing yourself to the detriment of this government, you need to be forewarned. The next time we will not forewarn you, the masses of our people will have a solution for something.
Damn it. Say, man, graduated, man, no really book now.
Yeah,
Accidental privileged characters. Wow, what a big book. You
it's
know,
a mayor, powerful position.
Mr. SG, on this issue, I've never addressed you as Mayor Koji because you did not speak.
No, as Secretary General.
Yeah, you did not speak in your capacity as the mayor of Monrovia. You spoke as the National Secretary General of the CDC. I want to caution you and the entire CDC leadership, the executives, to stop hating at other citizens in the country because your government won re-election. Whether you have any further information that I don't have, as far as I am concerned, the CPP Standard Bearer or the leadership of the CPP went and paid for a lesson plate that was given to them.
So much in box, how much the CPP paid for that fixed lesson plate?
Yes, and they paid for it. Somebody told us that each letter is $30.
Yeah, Derek Cody said he paid $180 for Koti to spell Koti.
Okay,
that's good money there.
So if you come to call this doing double standard, I think this is a misstep. It's a misstatement on the part of the Secretary General of the CDC. And I want to caution the executives of the CDC to stop attacking other citizens.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, this is the government of Liberia. Who always say this? This is the government of Liberia. Your internal party issue should be, just cut it off from the government. The government is for all Liberians.
For me, I think this issue should have been discussed in-house and call the Minister of Transport. What happened? But the thing is that we see they pay for this thing.
Well,
but
you and I know nothing happened. What happened is that CPP people, when they say they want lesson play, they want face on one face on two.
I want to play something.
They pay for it, and the minister give it to them. Simple. What else happened?
I want to play something. This reminds me about the former Minister of State, Follow McGill. The same week he was telling people, be careful.
When I make a mistake, we kick you out straight.
Kick you out of it. There was McGill. In that same week, identical week, he got sanctioned by the US, and week following he had to resign. So sometimes you don't know what is ahead of you. Let me just play the voice of one of the most powerful men and on the onset of this government, Lieutenant Follow Maggie. Listen to this.
It's now on us, and we'll be on your back. You know, we ain't already done now. We ain't done. Maybe, we'll something do you straight. Because nobody's not been there. When our friends are helping us bringing resources, we gotta be committed to us, and we'll be on your back. You know, we ain't already done now. We ain't done. Maybe, we'll something do you straight.
So now, when it's Saturday, people don't come on the bench.
But the presenter was saying people on the bench, right?
Yeah. So again, the likes of Moba Molu, Representative Akaras Gray, Jabasi Koji, Emmanuel Nito, Johnson, the youth chair.
Yeah.
All of you are Liberians and
good. You're Liberians. You still have to live in the same country.
Like all other persons that the president found confidence in and gave them job in the government, do not intimidate people with these kind of things. Koji, the city corporation that you are heading is collecting municipal taxes from opposition people. Why you can say I will not collect taxes from businesses owned by opposition?
As I close up on this one for my before as I close up, Marka, right? On this one, the face of the coalition, you like it or not, is Josh Weah. Josh, good morning to you. The face of the coalition for democratic change. I don't care who speak. When people go to vote, they don't vote these people. They vote who? Josh Weah. Josh, if you continue to be silent, you remember one time, Timon Fala said something, right? If you don't report at the party headquarters by 4 o'clock, all government official, you'll be dismissed. And that statement from him ran for almost a whole week.
And the president said nothing.
Prezo! Not Friday, on his own. That crew are speaking to him. On his own. You the face of from this party, the coalition. This statement have now gone well down across the country. For one of the most powerful. When people go vote, they don't see Molu on the ballot box. They don't see Koji on the ballot box. Who do they see? They see George Weah. George Weah. That's why the issue of running mate now become a major problem now. Everybody thinking running mate. So if you continue to be silent with this statement with coach, you have not gone down because, like you said, JFK now said, "Don't treat the other person." Yeah, they're not for this one. I mean, this statement, you have to come up and say something about this. Anyway, yes, I guess now.
Yes.
Let's pick few calls
yeah,
up. Let's pick few calls
sure.
up. Speak to your leader right here on the breakfast show in the midst of all country fights. I must say this out. Regardless what we'll do, we're all Liberians will have life to live after government. Government will come and go.
0770202579. Couple of calls here on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. So you can put in.
Meanwhile, don't forget the fundamental agreement.
Yeah, sure. Let's speak to this person.
Yeah, pick your first call. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. This is the Oracle, the national chair for the Friends of Israel Broadcast Show No. 6, and I'm calling for rehab.
Go ahead.
Let me speak to the conscience of my political leader of the Unity Party, the Rescue 1 and the Rescue 2, as prospective leaders of Liberia.
That rescue team, Fina, I saw a story on front page. Fina is suing y'all for that name. How you got that name?
Rescuing the people who they are.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go to the issue quickly. 1 minute.
The Marka and the Kum to put their apps together, coming to leadership with a different style, not to copy the same thing because the guys who call for change are going beyond the change they wanted. So it's time for them to be focused, put their apps, see all of the wrongs. So when they get the power, they can correct those wrongs.
Okay, so let's do at least 30 seconds. Just go straight to the point. Good morning.
Good morning. Marka, let me say good morning. This having people, and I joined a discussion from a vacant district of 5 community. Let me appreciate you for the national discussion. And focus to the issue of coaching. Mayor Kochi, we agree that Juvenile come with as a young mayor. But remember, there was a major after you, and there will all be major after you. So please take time with Liberians. Don't what I call perfect accidental territories. Don't are Liberian. After your 10, 1 or 2 10, we will give President William 1 or 1 10. There'll still be Liberia. So please take time. We are Liberians.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do one. Let's do one.
Please.
Let's do one.
Let's
do one, please.
Go ahead, please. Good morning. You're live. Go ahead. Good morning. Please stay away from your monitor.
I'm not hearing that, man. It's not. Look, you're on a national platform. A lot of people are trying to call. You don't want to go through that.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka and Oli. This is Smith Oslopa joining this morning from the Uncle Sam in the Letter Center.
Go ahead, Smith.
I want to say many thanks to Fake of One, Mr. Alexander Cummings for the program this one time in Grand Pastor, and many thanks to the Pastor people. The people really turn on the paper, jump out. This is my first time to see huge crowd since I was born in Liberia. Okay. I want to thank you, country first, who will remain the face of the country.
Okay, in the midst of our country.
Good morning.
Just hold on a little bit.
Good morning to the two country.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I just want a conversation this morning for this 260 couple. Then I appreciate the two against here this morning. My concern has to do with the mayor. Mayor Kochi, we beg of you. We beg you for the sake of this country. Like major. Our country, our city, and every citizen in Morusa, I feel when I step in New York to focus on the city, get the interior of the city. Now, it have been close in the country. We expect the mayor to open it because now they're starting to bring up more. The teenagers are close, and the mayor is not doing nothing.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Yes, let's pick up Abel Plaki, Unity Party. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
You like the intro, eh? Abel Plaki, Unity Party.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful. I like it. That is our identity, and we feel proud to associate with the Unity Party. Yeah, we are very, very proud. But you see, now that we have Rescue 1 and Rescue 2, we have Fixer 1 and Fixer 2, and then we got Chakla 1 and Chakla 2.
Who the Chakla 1, Chakla 2?
So we have Chakla 1,
Amen.
and we have Chakla 2.
Who told you about that? What people told you?
No,
the names you are bearing, you give it to yourself. The people haven't given themselves Chakla 1, Chakla 2.
Yeah. No, playing our professional
to what?
part. No.
Now we had Chakra 1 and Chakra 2. Now we're looking for Prom 2 because we got Prom 1, Tiago Gongro. We're looking for Prom 2 now. So, and that's why I want to say, we're going to miss the American ambassador because he's the new president of Liberia now. He's going to leave next month. This is a man who constantly remind and address the people of Liberia, unlike the president who's supposed to do this. This is shameful for the American ambassador to be the new president of the country. It's shameful to the government. The president has got a speech for his own people. He's unable to address critical national issues in the country. So yesterday you listened to the American ambassador. He's going to be leaving next month. He has constantly spoken to the people and to the issues affecting the people in the country. You saw what he said yesterday? He chastised the vice president when people believed to be members of a party went to Senator Johnson's church. And he also mentioned about the attacks on Reginald Bush by the president when he just signed the Farmington Agreement. So the American ambassador McCarthy will be missed by the Liberian people for his constant pieces of advice and reminder and address to the people of Liberia. Something the president who's supposed to do that is not doing it. So Mr. McCarthy, as you leave the country next month, we'll make sure we pray that Joe Biden will send somebody even better and more than you.
Amen. Thank you.
Because Mr. George, we are Chakra 1 and you are Chakra 2. They don't have any solution for the country.
All right. Thank you. Why you
Yeah, man. I saw that in your Facebook.
Okay, social media thing.
I saw that in your Facebook.
Yeah, we'll take 2 more calls out. Don't get our guests in studio. He's already there. I missed this guy from the CDC. I want to take some other from the coalition. Yeah, I don't know. Papi Kate, are you strong enough to speak on behalf of the coalition for democratic change? Morning.
Good morning, Marka. Good morning, Nima One. Good morning to the Liberian people. And let me say to we as the Liberian this morning, we need to be serious here for Blackie coming on the air, giving name to the party, the coalition, the most powerful government ever in Liberian history, giving the names Chakra 1, Chakra 2. We are not going to be detailed on that.
Okay.
And let me come to the issue of Honorable Mayor Koji this morning, the most powerful youth leader ever in West Africa. And the issue with the leader giving opportunity to them working in the government, and then they are now cooperating, relating with the regime. Having said that to the mayor, to the transport minister, and it's not an issue, Marka and Oni. I know you people going to campaign for the opposition.
You see, okay, you see what? The next time now you call, I will cut you off. You see it? You see it? You see it? Yesterday, Noah did the same thing. Even a call for the Unity Party will pull it through. The lot of people call for the CDC will pull it through. There are some other network. I dare the opposition to call. Look, the day we decide to do a full 100% campaign, none of you will call. What you do is just listen. Now we'll give you the privilege to talk. He's telling it.
It's obvious.
Hey, man. Anyway.
When you, let me just tell you something. You need to have.
No,
you need to build
so on thick skin, you gotta dribble.
Let's build thick skin. You know, so now leave these people, let them talk.
Yeah.
They are not a real judge of the work we are doing.
The Liberian people will get into it now.
You know what I mean?
Start reactionary tendencies. I got a Vanguard student education team for UL. You mean?
You expect people will say these things. For me,
the next time people call, let you call it.
But you know how many presidents have texted you and told you that you supporting the CDC? Have you using that?
Yeah.
I have received text messages like that too.
I agree, George. We are ever more.
You understand?
The black president.
So
and Liberian people will make the decision.
The CDC call and tell you you support the opposition.
And this morning,
it means you are in the middle.
This morning, and we invited Cummings. Yeah. He coming.
It means you are in the middle.
The last time I invited Ambassador Marka, he came, right? Tiawan Gongolo, we'll send an invitation. Once you come, you make the case with Liberian people. I'm going to vote for the 2.4 million people that registered for Elections Commission. Yeah, you're going to sit on that. Let's speak. Why you go? Let's speak last caller, Omnismo Johnson, journalist Johnson. Good morning.
Yeah, man. Good
morning.
Sorry for that last call. I hope you find your auntie, fellow lady, do will provide your assistance. So anytime Papi calls, a red light will show you. Don't allow him to talk on the radio. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, man. Sometimes it don't be fair to us. Anyway, we human being. Look, like bro will make the decision you like it or not. And I'm as a journalist, I have my right. I have my right to go and put the president cast down by one single vote, which of course is very important. And the platform open up. Once you send an invitation, you show up, we give you the opportunity to convince the Liberian people. The CDC gone 6 years. You should be thinking about how to tell us, look, give us another 6 years. Someone said the rescue. Well, the country have gone, we have to rescue the country. No, the whole economy has been broken. We need to fix it. That's why I see Fixer 1, Fixer 2. And I guess there are more names will pop up. Anyway, let's leave it at the taste. We'll link up with Marka on the other side of the studio. But 9 o'clock this morning, this collaborating political Standard Bearer Alexander Cummings will be our guest at 9 a.m. this morning. Yes, Marka is all yours.
Thank you so kindly, O'Neill, and thanks to people who are following us. And the only thing I have to say concerning Papi's statement is that it shows that we are independent. Because if all sides will be accusing you and you are independent, so well, good morning again. Welcome to the first segment of the show. We have with us this morning Alvin Kipo. He is the chairman of the National Youth Movement Against the Usage of Drugs. So we've come here this morning to make some emphasis on the work they are doing and their campaign against illicit substances in the country. So Alvin, good morning and welcome to the TBS.
Oh yeah, thank you. Good morning to the listening audience. Once again, my name is Alvin Kipo. I hail from Nima.
Okay.
And a resident of District Number 6.
All right. Give us a brief history about this organization.
Oh yeah, we came up with this organization some 4 months ago. It's a new organization. We decided to establish this because there have been numerous cases of drugs, trafficking in our country, and we realized that our little brothers and sisters are into, taking drugs that they don't know about.
Okay.
So we decided to form this organization and do awareness in every corner of this country. Precisely, we're going to start from Montserrat County first and build up the momentum, and we're going to take it up to the rural counties, Bone, Nimba, Maryland, Grand Chile, wherever. But these are things that we are venturing into. Yeah.
How old is it?
It's about 6 months now since we started, but we've been doing undercover workings, in the community where I live. Is one of the center point of drugs right now, where every corner you go in, young people are smoking opium, and so we decided that, and we've been talking to our community leaders and people in the community.
This could be a costly venture, if I may say, expensive venture. What is your source of support to carry out awareness across Montserrat, across parts of Liberia? Where do you intend to get resources from to do these things?
We've been reaching out to our stakeholders, Yeah, we've been reaching out to them. And the first person we reached out to was Reverend Samuel Enoch, representative, District Number 6. And he consented.
So this is the birthplace of this organization?
Yeah.
Okay.
He consented that he want to help whenever we need him. Okay. So we are counting on him. It's now a political organization. Okay. It's open to everybody. We're going to reach out to everyone.
Because that's the question I was about to ask you before we go look now. We see the organization endorsing political candidates and all of that.
No, we're not going to do that. Okay. We're not going to do that. We have a strong policy on that. We're not going to do that. What we want to do is we want to reach out to the political actors in our country so that they can see reasons of us carrying out this campaign in every part of Liberia. Because if care is not taken, we have a less population. Rwanda for now, Rwanda is small, but it has about 12-point-something million human beings. With their good policy on the drugs issues, Rwanda is growing. You have a lot of educated people in Rwanda right now. Unlike Liberia, where people will be 5 years and start smoking. Because once you start smoking opium, it will lead you to taking drugs, because these are, preconditions to taking drugs.
Okay.
So we carrying this campaign. We're going to say everywhere. We will ask people to even be part of that campaign team, so that we can go and preach these messages everywhere.
How do you intend to do this campaign? Is it a community to community awareness, maybe through a team of young people creating awareness, moving from one neighborhood to another? How do you intend to do this?
Yeah, it's how we started, and what we're trying to do now is we want to do 15 high schools for now.
Okay.
That's our first target for Musarara County. We are planning a program that we're going to bring these 15 schools together,
okay,
to a place where we'll have somebody from the mental home,
okay,
that will come to explain to them how harmful drugs is to human life, so that they can tell them, for them to understand, the harmful part of the drugs, that we give, a broad ideas as to how they will esteem themselves from taking drugs as a young people. That's what we want to do. So we are trying to raise our money, and the program will be on the 17th. We are rating several organizations.
June 17th.
June 17th.
And where is it going to be hosted?
We are trying to do the SKD Gymnasium.
Okay.
That's why we want to go.
Have you started engaging the Ministry of Sports already?
Yeah. I think yesterday we went there, and the person who was in charge wasn't there. But we're going to do a follow-up. We wrote them already. We want to do a follow-up on that, so that they can allow us to have our program. We're going to march, then we'll do an indoor program where somebody will come to.
So it is good when you are creating awareness on something to have some little knowledge on it. Do you intend, or have you begun already doing your own in-house training where someone can come and explain better to you about some of these substances that are harmful to the young people, so that when you are providing that awareness to the young people, they will know that you clearly know what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, we started with that. And,
okay.
Sunday, this coming Sunday, we're going to have someone from the mental home,
okay,
JFK, right here.
Okay, Dupont Road,
JFK. Yeah. Okay. We have Dada Sokro.
Okay.
Dada Sokro going to come to talk to us on Sunday. That's why, we have engaged him, and he's going to come to explain to our people how best we can go about doing it.
What have you noticed to be the root cause? Like I always say on the radio, government needs to take stronger steps against the issue of drug abuse in the country, because we see a lot of our young people migrating from the classroom to the ghettos. What have you come to realize as factors responsible for this?
What I can tell you is peer pressure, right?
Okay.
One thing that is driving our brothers and sisters from the classroom to the ghetto is the peer pressure. That is, someone going to say, "Oh, my man, let's go. You smoke, you can be clever. You smoke, you can be smart. You smoke opium, you'll be smart." And this is how it's all going to start.
Okay.
It's all going to start by smoking opium and somebody telling you that it will make you smart, you will score good grades, you'll be a brilliant person in class, and blah blah blah. So when all this is done, you will see somebody will come with a bigger one and say, "Oh, my man, we smoked the other day, it didn't do anything. If you take this one going to open your brain." And it plays a major role. Peer pressure plays a major role in taking people from classroom to the ghetto. So it all starts with smoking opium. So if we have a campaign where we explain to people the significance of not smoking opium, people want to stop. Yeah. So
a lot of these people, your target is people who have not crossed into it yet, to prevent them from going into it.
Yeah.
But there are other young people who are already into it.
Yeah.
Some are refer to them as victims.
Yeah.
From the larger extent, how do you think this thing can be tackled? Because firstly, if it is not available, the young people will not have access to it.
Yeah. What I can tell you is, Marka, our country, we say, is built on Christian principle. We don't have a straight law. People in other countries, people don't sell liquor to it. People who are underage, these things start all around these things.
Okay.
You see these days, I can remember some years back, man said he have to put stop to a liquor that they call, I don't know how they call it, drip.
It was a little
something.
In plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That drip things, when he got to the president, she put stop to it immediately. But unlike this time, where we don't have a strong president, we have a strong president, but don't have a strong will, in tackling these issues. So it places us in a difficult position as to how we'll go about tackling it. But however, what we're trying to do is people who have not crossed over, as you rightly said, these are people we want to protect for now. Because those that are there, government is making frantic effort to see how best it can get rehabilitated. But people who are still not part of these people, we want to prevent them from getting into it. Because if care is not taken, if we have 10 companies now in Liberia, we will have to go to Nigeria, Guinea, Sierra Leone to bring people. Because 10 years from now, if care is not taken, the awareness is not properly done, and people are not reaching out to tell people how we should go about doing things in this country, 10 years from now, we will go out of manpower. I can tell you. So we sat down and said, okay, let's do awareness everywhere in our country and see how best we can prevent those that are not crossover. So that's our straight plan, and we ought to achieve that with all of us help. Even we need your help also. So with every one of us, it's a collective effort. It's not a political thing. We're not doing it for Joseph Marka. We're not doing it for Cummings. We're not doing it for, but we're doing it holistically for the people of Liberia.
So, what have been the responses received from maybe your initial visits to neighborhoods? What do you hear from the young people?
Like the school we visited last week, we visited Julie Moore, the government school, and the people embrace her. They embrace her. They say it's a good idea, that even if there was a means, we're going to have a people from mental home that will go to the various schools and even be explaining, to the people how harmful it is. People don't know. Sometimes people do things before they start thinking. But if the proper awareness is done and people get to know how harmful drugs is, I can tell you, the issue of drugs, people will even bring it, they will not even buy from them because there are not been proper awareness. That is why people venture into this thing. Young people venture into this thing, unknowingly, and they just see themselves into it by peer pressure, as we said earlier.
Okay. Yeah. So have you appropriately registered this institution? Because that will give you the opportunity, maybe you can write projects and institutions with interest in this could, maybe you can get grants or other means of funding to support some of your projects.
Yeah, for the
process.
Yeah, for the documentation, we are in the process already. Okay. We talked to one Francis from the business registry. Okay. He's working on that. The article incorporation soon. Okay. We will have it, and we will be looking for the office space to see how best we can start from there. And one thing we'll be strong on, and we'll be talking to our political leaders, is to give all the space. If for every campaign trail, to give all the space so we can carry on the awareness for young people to see us, for every time we're going for this other launch of campaign, give all the 1-2 minutes, we come and talk to our people, the importance of, not using drugs, how harmful it is, and, we're going to appeal to them for that. That's what we intend.
Do you also want them to create a space, even as part of their campaign messaging, to inform the young generation about the harmful effect of drugs?
That's what we're trying to do. we will be appealing.
You have the opportunity to do so now. You are on a radio station that goes across this country.
Yeah, we are appealing to them. If that platform can be afforded us, we will be happy. If they can give us the opportunity to carry out the message, the drugs, the awareness through the platform they will create in their campaign trail, we're going to be a great.
Because you have to be careful also. You know how Liberian people do politics.
Yeah.
By the time they see you, maybe somebody doing a political gallery and you go there to deliver a message, the next cam will say, "Oh, that man with that other cam also," something like that. So you have to be careful how you work on that.
I agree to that. That is why we are taking our own time to reach to people. We want people to come and help us. We need help. We need a lot of things to be done, and our target is so.
What are some of the specific help you need
for the program we're going to have on the 17th? We have a mini budget that we anticipate.
You want to disclose it? Okay, if it's not disclosable, no problem.
We're going to keep it to ourselves for now and see how best we can work it closely with people who we are talking to.
So, how much percent do you think you can raise as an institution before you look for help outside?
What we for now, we are trying to raise like 40% of whatsoever budget we budgeted. We're going to raise 40% on our own. Then the 60%, we can ask other people to chip in.
Besides finance, do you need other maybe material support for the upcoming event? And if yes, what could be the things you need?
We will need t-shirts. We'll need t-shirts. We'll have buses. Yeah, if anybody can help us with buses to take the students from one place to another, we need food, water. These are things that we need for now. For the first program.
So what do we expect to see in that program? What are activities enshrined in the program?
For the program, we have a march. Probably we're going to march from.
How do you call it? Is it a march against drugs?
We have a march against drugs. Say no to drugs. We're going to do the march from Boulevard Junction.
Will you be carrying placards with writings on it?
Yeah, we'll have not necessarily so, but we'll have our banner.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a banner because if we carry placards, it will be the protest and will not be that is not protest. So we'll have our banner, with the inscription on it. Yeah. So we're going to do a march from Boulevard Junction. Then we detour AB Tower Road. No. SD Cooper Road. Yeah, then we'll get to the football field. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be.
Okay, and after that, have you identified some of the speakers? You mentioned that a doctor will come from the ES Grant Mental Health Hospital here under the JFK to come there to speak.
Yeah.
Besides that, have you identified other social workers who can sometimes explain some of the social issues that can lead to people entering this drug life?
Yeah, for now we have identified our own brother, Dr. Sokro.
Okay.
But we're still in search. We're going to get to the various clinics, the various hospitals around, even SD Cooper Road and SD Cooper Hospital.
Okay.
I'm going to go there to talk to somebody, probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they can form part of the program. Yeah.
Well, is this a short-term initiative, or you hope to have this as an organization for a long time? Because there are some institutions that are established just after a certain period of time, they are gone. You don't see them anymore.
Yep. There's a long-term plan. There's a long-term plan that we are initiating. We're not going to stop. There's going to be something we're going to keep doing, but equally so, it will be carried out from the financial. If you have a financial backing,
okay,
you will keep doing it. Keep doing it as long as you want it. But things in Liberia here, people politicize everything. This is not a political organization. We're not doing this for politics. We're doing it so that we can save our young brothers and sisters who are still in high school, some in university, to see how best they can be a better person tomorrow. That's why we are doing it.
Okay, so just give a gist of the kind of awareness message you'll be giving to the young people so that we can take at least 3 or 4 calls.
Okay, the message we'll be giving out there is to say no to drugs. The young people life matters. These are the message we'll be giving out there. Yeah.
Okay. So if you are following us, you're listening to Avin Kiko here. He's our first segment guest. We're talking about drugs issues, the issue of drug abuse, especially amongst young people in the country. Their mission is to stop new group of young people going to the ghetto. Others are there already, while national government and other partners are trying to rehabilitate them. Their mission is to ensure that we don't have additional young people going on drugs. So let's take the first caller this morning on the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka, David.
Good morning.
Thank you this morning for having me on this show. I'm Jeremiah T-Third. I join you from District number 6, precisely.
Let's hear you.
Let me first appreciate your callers.
It seems that you are far away from your phone.
Okay, right?
Go ahead.
All right, gentlemen, let me first appreciate gentlemen for the hard work coming on with shows initiative in this country where it's full of drugs every day. I think it's a very hard work. But let me give you a Bible. Whatever Bible I said, what if fish get rotting everything for the head? I mean, those our market women who know when the market they want to know if you rotting look for the head. You first need to talk to our hair, our people, how they just come in this country. Because what the Bible say, where you stomach your toes is where you should play, not where you fall down. And when the drugs continue coming in the country, you will expect the people to consume it. But if you're not seeing it, you won't consume it. Okay? And secondly, I want to also ask you guys to first, are you a jingle? A jingle that every time when you can give the few radio station that you FM, they will always play in, to remind our brother and let that jingle come like a little drama to sanitize them. I think also be forever. Thank you, gentlemen.
That is good. And your point you raised about going to the top is fine, but I think one of their mission is to ensure that new people should not be going into the ghetto. They should know the harm of these illicit substances. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. Thank you. Thank you for the first segment. This is the Oracle and I call from Rehab. And they say thank you to my brother in studio. I'm so proud hearing that the organization is within district number 6. And district number 6 being the head of the executive, where the president lives in one of the hottest spots for drugs. So it's no exception.
Is it the state that I have Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe is the state, right?
They only got one horse.
Okay.
So when you run around we know we're not saying. So it's so good. I think the issue of drugs is a national emergency that we all need to go against, because and I tell people, even the drug law sometimes the reason why you see the party is too difficult because people are not putting much emphasis to those who are importing the drugs. They are only putting the emphasis to those who are consuming the drugs. Because if the people in government can bring the drugs, if they are not bringing it, people will not take it. So I just thank you. I think it's a good for we all will join in this fight. So at least our brother and sister can go win war again. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your participation. Your participation on the show. We're trying to get Mentor Bia. Mentor, are you there?
Yeah, morning, madam.
Morning, Mentor.
I don't say morning to my friend and brother. I mean, come on.
That's all now. Come on.
Okay, let me appreciate you for the initiative. And then, I'm listening to you this morning on the radio. Support you. I mean, after the show, we can talk better and then we'll bring our own contribution for the program. So, thank you very much.
Okay, Mentor Bia right there. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka David.
Go ahead.
I want to commend our guests. Actually, they are coming with a very fine idea, but our liberal justice system about narcotic substances in our country is weak. Just look at what happened recently. The justice system just lost $100 million United States cocaine case. So our effort to avoid drugs in the country, our youth are just trying to make their way, but then the justice system is not backing it. So I just want to commend them. That's a very fine idea, and we will support it. But then our justice system is actually weakening us. But we still make way for our country to go forward.
for our youth not to go back into these substances, because there are more youth into it already, so we don't want anyone to go into it again to increase the high rate of a child in our country.
Okay.
So I just want to commend them.
Thank you.
Thank you for the idea.
Thank you. We'll take the last call from Aliu Wallo will be the last caller. Let's Ali, just place the call back. These are stakeholders. We want to hear them what they have to say. Ali, you can call. I'm expecting your call shortly, or else I'll go over to the guest for his closing and his final message to the Liberian people. This is the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. And we're talking to Avin Kipo this morning on the TBS. Let me take Ali. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, my brother Marka Davis, and good morning to our studio guests.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you. I have interest in the topic. I had the opportunity to attend the Intelligence Science and Security Study Institute in Cairo, Egypt. When I was there doing the study, there were 7 things I was taught. When I came back to Liberia, I had the opportunity to serve a position of going around the 15 counties. And this issue of drugs addicted Liberians, I was observing it very seriously. And all over in this country, in every county, you see thousands of young people indulging into drugs. Now, during my study, we were taught that sometimes terrorists, I'm not saying it is a terrorist encroachment on Liberia. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is when we were taught that sometimes terrorists don't attack a country straight by bombing. What they do is they attack the potential, the future of this country, that is the young people. So they infuse more drugs in that country. When they infuse more drugs in that country, it has the propensity to destroy the young people who should be the future brain of that country. And I can remember 2 years ago, the British government said Liberia is prone to terrorist attack. But since then, we have not experienced what we know to be terrorist attack. So sometimes it bothers my mind. And I think if the security experts in this country are also looking at this overplus infusion of drugs in this country beyond maybe just trading drugs and looking at other implications. So from that study sometime, because I've been to the 15 counties all over in this country, our brothers are addicted to drugs. And if you study about drugs, you will understand that drugs decreases a man's ability to think well. It plays on the memory. So that's the contribution that I want to make. So the endeavor of our brothers is very good, and all of us will give our support. I hope to get his number. We will give our support because we have to rescue the future of this country.
Okay, thank you. The veteran Joe Wonder wants to make a contribution. Let me pick his call. Good morning, Chief.
Yeah, morning, man. I've been following the discussion. It's an interesting one. But one thing that I think we're missing here is that I listened to one of our judicial luminary, Councillor Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He says that don't look at the law. It is the community that released those 4 guys from the $100 million war, because the jurors are those that they put from West Point, Nikutan, Pinsway, Ghanarsville. They are the one that caused this problem for this government. Mm-hmm. So we should stop looking at the judicial system, but rather look at them, because imagine with evidence has been produced and they still insist that the wrongdoer that were arrested and all of those things. So I wanted to target the community. Let's forget about going to SKD. Go to the community and put a tank out where you know, Zimbabwe is that district number 6. You're putting the city center there and just cause the noise and preach that genocide, the music to the ears of the people that in the community. So that's the best that we can do. Forget about going to the big guys. Let's go to the community. If it's possible that we can break down the machines, ghettos, let us do it ourselves. Because if we keep waiting, the police don't have the means to go over there. We the community, we are the one.
Mr. Wanda, what they are doing is they are bringing together students who are not yet into this drug thing.
Precisely.
Yes.
Precisely. I was also saying the same thing. The other man who are singing in soprano. I am saying that. Yeah, I am saying that let's all do it from the community level. I agree you bring them together. You want a new batch to go in.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to go to the community because our parents who own houses are the one who are giving a sanctuary to the drugs law. They are the landlords of our town. They are the one causing this problem too for us. So we need to start from the community.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you all for the discussion. We are following.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. So, Kipo, you listen to, I think you got a lot of support. You will just take at least 1 minute, 30 seconds to close. Please.
Yeah, I want to close on this note. I want to thank everybody, for their support. It's good that they are giving us support. And one thing we want to say to our people is we're going to talk to all our political actors in our country to open it, give us the space so that we can go as an organization to explain to people, to carry out this message of this, the uses of drugs, how harmful it is, how is it destroying our citizens, how is it destroying our young people. We're going to ask them to do that for us. And when that is done, that will be good. Our messages will be across the country and our people want to hear it. And we'll have ambassadors all over the counties, in our country. Okay. So we thank you. We thank you for affording us this opportunity. And again, my name is Alvin Kipo. And my number to reach me, I don't know what I
just do it quickly.
Okay, my number is 086 694643. And my number, my orange is 0776 366062 is my number. Thank you for affording us the opportunity.
Okay, we've been talking to Alvin Kipo here on the first segment. We'll be back and Mr. Alexander Cummings will be
the history of Liberia in 10 minutes or less. Hello, Displorers. Welcome back to another exciting video presented to you by Displorer, and thanks for watching. In today's video, we shall be looking at the history of Liberia in 10 minutes. The Republic of Liberia is a democracy located on the West African coast. Bordered by the Atlantic Ocean along its entire diagonal southwest coastline of 579 kilometers, Liberia borders Sierra Leone to the northwest, Guinea to the north, and Cote d'Ivoire to the east. Liberia measures 111,370 kilometers square in area, of which nearly 10% is water. Much of Liberia is covered with tropical rainforest, and the country's terrain ranges from coastal plains to plateau to low mountains with a tropical climate. Liberia is often described as one of 2 African countries to have remained independent during the European scramble for Africa, but this is misleading, as the country was founded by African Americans in the 1820s. These Americo-Liberians governed the country until 1989, when they were overthrown in a coup. Liberia was governed by a military dictatorship until the 1990s, and then suffered 2 lengthy civil wars. In 2003, the women of Liberia helped bring an end to the Second Civil War, and in 2005, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was elected President of Liberia. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Historians believe that many of the indigenous people of Liberia migrated there from the north and east between the 12th and 16th centuries AD. Portuguese explorers established contacts with the people of the land later known as Liberia as early as 1462. They named the area Costa de Pimenta, or Pepper Coast, or Gain Coast, because of the abundance of Meligata pepper, which became desired in European cooking. In 1602, the Dutch established a trading post at Grand Cape Mount but destroyed it a year later. In 1663, the British installed trading posts on the Pepper Coast. No further known settlements by non-African colonists occurred until the arrival in 1821 of free blacks from the Americas. Liberia was founded by free people of color from the United States. The emigration of free people of color and later former slaves was funded and organized by the American Colonization Society. The mortality rate of these settlers was the highest in accurately recorded human history. Of the 4,571 immigrants who arrived in Liberia between 1820 and 1843, only 1,819 survived. While several distinct ethnic groups have inhabited what is today Liberia for at least 1,000 years, no large kingdoms arose there on the lines of those found further east along the coast, like Dahomey, Asante, or the Benin Empire. Histories of the region therefore generally begin with the arrival of the Portuguese traders in the mid-1400s and the rise of the transatlantic trade. Coastal groups traded several goods with Europeans, but the area became known as the Grain Coast because of its rich supply of Malagueta pepper grains. Navigating the coastline wasn't that easy, though, particularly for the large ocean-going Portuguese vessels, and the European traders relied on crew sailors, who became the primary middlemen in the trade. Due to their sailing and navigation skills, the crew began working on European ships, including slave trading ships. Their importance was such that Europeans began referring to the coast as crew country, despite the fact that the crew was one of the smaller ethnic groups, amounting to only 7% of Liberia's population today. The often stated claim that after the scramble for Africa, Liberia was one of two independent African states is misleading because the indigenous African societies had little economic or political power in the new republic. All power was concentrated in the hand of the African American settlers and their descendants, who became known as the Americo-Liberians. In 1931, an international commission revealed that several prominent Americo-Liberians had slaves. The Americo-Liberians constituted less than 2% of Liberia's population, but in the 19th and early 20th centuries, they made up nearly 100% of qualified voters. For over 100 years, from its formation in the 1860s until 1980, the Americo-Liberian True Whig Party dominated Liberian politics in what was essentially a one-party state. The Americo-Liberian dominance was broken April 12, 1980, when Master Sergeant Samuel K. Doe and less than 20 soldiers overthrew the president, William Tolbert. The coup was welcomed by the Liberian people, who greeted it as liberation from Americo-Liberian domination. Samuel Doe's government soon proved itself no better for the Liberian people than its predecessors. Doe promoted many members of his own ethnic group, the Kran, but otherwise Americo-Liberians retained control over much of the country's wealth. Doe's system was a military dictatorship. He permitted elections in 1985, but external reports decreed his victory as entirely fraudulent. A coup attempt followed, and Doe responded with brutal atrocities against suspected conspirators and their bases of support. The United States, who however had long used Liberia as an important base of operations in Africa, especially during the Cold War, were more interested in Liberia's loyalty than its leadership. They offered millions of dollars in aid that helped prop up Doe's increasingly unpopular regime. In 1989, with the end of the Cold War, the United States stopped its support to Doe, and Liberia was soon torn in half by rival factions. In 1989, an American-Liberian and former official, Charles Taylor, invaded Liberia with his National Patriotic Front. Backed by Libya, Burkina Faso, and Ivory Coast, Taylor soon controlled much of the eastern part of Liberia, but he couldn't take the capital, as it was a splinter group led by Prince Johnson.
Affiliate radio station across Liberia. Welcome to the TBS. My name is O'Neil Roberts. In the midst of all country affairs, we have to face from the collaborating political party. Is Benedict Cummings with us this morning. At long last, he appears on the breakfast show with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I'm well, and good to be with you. And it's long overdue. I be with you. I come here a long time. I would normally come with your colleague Chris.
Yes.
But it's good to be with you.
Yes. How you doing this morning? Before we start the show, have wise. How is Benedict Cummings doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I always say I thank God. I'm in very good health. You know, I exercise regularly, at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
I exercise. I try to watch what I eat. I eat everything.
Okay.
You know, I don't.
You watch your diet a little bit.
I watch my diet a little bit. I eat in moderation.
Okay.
I like a glass of wine with my dinner. You know, on weekends, I like a scotch or cognac and a cigar. But my health is good.
You exercise?
I exercise.
Okay.
And 3 times a week.
Okay.
I'm very disciplined.
Less than an hour.
No, an hour.
We need a president who have that energy.
A full hour. Usually Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays.
Okay.
And if my schedule don't allow it, then I do a different day. But I try to be very disciplined about that. I do cardio, I do weights, I do core. So I exercise. As I said, I watch my diet. But I'm also grateful for my family as well. The health is Teresa. My wife, we've been married for over 40 years. I married very young. But Teresa is in good health. My children, I got 2 adult kids,
Okay.
Ayo and my son Boyta. They would have grandchildren. So we thank God for all of that. My mother is still alive. She's
Okay.
94 years old. O'Neill. So hopefully I will have a long life like her.
Okay. You tap into it. Great. So let's get into business. Normally, I'm probably 1 or 2 person when I ask you this question. Who is Alexander Ben in the comments? If someone's listening up to the radio this morning.
So Alexander Cummings is a very proud son of Liberia, whose family from Maryland, from the Grable side, although some Cummings people were in Tapeta, in Nima as well, but who grew up in Point Four and in Fiamma, who went to demonstration school on Clay Street, went to Slavier, Ashmore Street, went to Connington University, work at LBDI. Alexander Cummings is a very proud husband to a wonderful wife, Teresa, father and grandfather. Most people don't realize, they think I'm very serious, and I am, but I like to have fun too. I tell people, I'm a good dancer.
Yeah, I watched a couple of clips for you. I was a little bit laughing.
Exactly.
I'm saying the old man, Mother Teresa is giving you tough time. All those moves and all of days.
But we try and we enjoy it, right? And as I mentioned, I like music. I like to read. I'm more of a fun guy than people realize, but I'm also a serious guy. Right? I like to focus. I'm very disciplined. I work hard. I often say, O'Neill, my success has been a combination of blessings. I've been blessed, and I can list all the blessings and providence I've had, but then combined with hard work, with discipline, with focus. I'm a very determined person. Right? When I say I want to go from here to there, I don't let all the noise, distract me. I focus on getting to that end goal. So I'm very determined, and that's the passion and determination I want to bring to serve our country and serve our people.
What's a difficult decision going into politics? I mean, I remember in 2017. When you announced that, yes, you're the face of the ANC in 2017, yeah, he says he's a good man, he targeted whites and all of that, but he's new, how Liberian people were. He's new, what's a difficult decision going into politics?
Not really. And by the way, Liberian people were right. I mean, look, I was new, and people didn't really know me, and so, our people sometimes, O'Neill, we're too hard on ourselves. That's something I want to change. We are better and we're smarter than we give ourselves credit for. And many Liberians may not be educated, but formal education and intellect, wisdom are 2 different things, right? But it wasn't too hard a decision, because when I looked at my life history, all the blessings I talked about, the experiences I've had, I've lived and worked in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, the US, the UK. I've had a lot of success in the most competitive market in the world, in the United States, and I did very well. I looked at all those things and I thought, you know what, I need to do something to help Liberia, to help the country on my breath. And politics and the presidency, if you want to impact all 5 million Liberians, that's the job, to do it through, right? So I decided, and my wife thought, you're crazy, but Teresa has been very supportive of all my decisions.
Don't go into it. You have to get thick skins. People hate to you for no reason. They see the right, they say it's wrong.
Yes.
Yet and still difficult decision. Don't go into it. Is that what Teresa was saying?
Initially, she was like, all of those things. Exactly, O'Neill. But, convinced her, and she said, look, you've always had this passion for Liberia, for your people. Let's partner together to go offer ourselves to serve Liberians. And, I remind people, despite the fact that I only entered Liberian politics, literally, less than 18 months to the election in 2017, we didn't do too bad, right? We came in third in Maserati. Distant third, but we came third.
The short period of time. That's part of say you knew. He's new. He's good, but he's new.
We came in. I always tell my Liberty Party colleagues now, we came in ahead of them in Maserati. We came in ahead of them in Nima.
Okay. Oh, so you're counting the counties?
Yeah. In fact, six out of the 15 counties, we came in third. So now it's been, 5-6 years later, since 2017. We will do very well.
Why are you still on the grind? Normally after election, people will travel and leave away. But Alice Cummings since 2017, I mean,
You're still going from room to room, house to house, just everywhere. You're still being consistent.
Correct. Because we want, look, we will win this thing. It will surprise people. I'm confident. But in the unlikely case that doesn't happen, O'Neill, I want to sleep well with myself. I want to know, look, there was not something you should have done. You should have gone this place, or you should have been nice to O'Neill, or you should have done. I want to, in the unlikely case doesn't happen, when I go to bed the night the election results are now, I want to sleep well.
You have to sleep this night.
I want to know that we give it everything, and we decided to go a different direction. That's the decision. So to answer your question, yes, we have, and that's why I talk about my focus, my discipline, my resilience. When I make up my mind to do something, I do what it takes. I work hard to do it. And so it was. And by the way, win or lose, we'll be here.
Win or lose,
you'll be here. We're gonna be like, bro. My neighbor street very
in Liberia. Now, how is the CPP? Ellis comments in the CPP. Thanks for keeping the brain alive. I remember you're full together, but yet and still you have the ANC, the Liberty Party. That's the CPP.
CPP is doing very well, and we'll be announcing others will be joining us.
You surprised the brain is still alive?
No, because
initially you felt that there is no CPP. Well, the hope is all dead and gone.
No,
you still keep the brain alive.
We were determined to keep the brain alive. Look, we made a promise to Liberian people that we would come together, collaborate in the interest of Liberian people. We made a promise. And again, I'm not perfect. And let me just let Liberian people know that one time. But I do my best to keep promises, to keep my word. And not 100%, but I would say above 90%, right? At least an A, if not an A plus. So we made a promise to Liberian people when we signed the CPP agreement that we'll collaborate to make President we are wanting president, to restore good governance to the country, to restore economic growth to Liberia. And so, whatever the reasons, I don't want to really litigate. Two parties decided to leave the CPP. But I was determined to stay in the CPP. Fortunately, the Liberty Party stayed with us. And together we're stronger, I believe.
At some point in time, you wanted to give up. You saw your side of magisterial court and said, well, this is all over. This is over. This is over. But yet Cummings still stands strong.
Yeah, never wanted to give up. I think one of the reasons why they took me to court, they thought, Cummings would give up. They would bury him, that kind of stuff. But they underestimated my determination, my focus, my resilience, my tenacity. People, because I'm a quiet man, I'm an introvert, people, but don't underestimate me. I'm determined, I'm focused, I'm courageous. I will make the tough decisions, the tough calls, because that's what will be required to change this country. So yeah, the CPP still stands, and the good news is, later in the next 2 weeks, other people will come to join us.
Great
institutions.
Great.
So it's a very exciting time for us.
Let me take you to the Ganta convention. I mean, the most talk about convention, that's part of the huge public concern about this running mate issue. I don't know when Liberia started thinking about running mate. Before they were just looking at the face of that party. That was one shot. Everybody thought that you was going to announce the VSB to you. You asked for 2 additional weeks. That's part of the huge public pressure.
No, I didn't ask. The convention wanted to give me more time. But it doesn't matter whether I asked or they gave me more time. The fact is we delayed it. But what's interesting, O'Neill, is that some of my critics say, Cummings will not do anything, we're not going anywhere, but they all were focused on my running mate decision. All the attacks come on me from whether it's the CPP, the CDC or the UP. So we must be doing something right.
You read some of the comments on the social media? You don't read them? You don't watch the live podcast?
I don't spend too much time on that. It's not good use of my time, to be honest. I spend more time trying to.
Your chairman is strong for that. Musa is strong for that.
Musa, it's
Musa is so strong for that.
It's good to have people that complement each other. I don't want a lot of mini Alexes around me. I want people who got different interests, different skills. That's what will make the team stronger. Where all can be the same, right? And so Musa does spend more time. I don't spend too much time. For me, that's not good use of my time. But I know most of my critics. And I'm the guy that everybody focuses on, the critics. That's because we're doing the right thing. That's because they're a friend. That's because they know we offer Liberians a very different choice. It's a stark choice. right? But so I don't care about the hits. I don't care about the allegation, all the silliness, the nonsense. For me, it's just nonsense. I just want to continue to make my case. The Liberian people to give me the chance to serve them, and they will see a difference in their lives. They will see a difference in this country because we can do it. We're determined to do it. We have the relationships, we have the experience, we have the knowledge, and we'll build a team of Liberians to change this country. So I don't care about all the noise. It doesn't bother me.
Great, congratulations to Councillor Sharon Brodsky. I mean, what prompted the decision selecting her as a running mate? You were in discussion, a lot of names pop up. We hear names, the media were announcing names, but not knowing that this professional, good character was going to be announced. What prompted the decision?
What an exciting choice. I am so excited about Charlene and her decision to, join us in this journey. Look, we conducted, and that's how I think it operates. We conducted a methodical process. We appointed a committee. They came up with criteria. We did it confidentially because you don't want to make these things public and then you embarrass people. So we need on the list, Chris on the list, and then we don't choose you. And the people get we did it quietly. We talked to a lot of people, but again, a combination of what I call providence, blessings, prayers, but then also the work of the methodical way of looking at who to pick, the criteria we wanted to pick. We ended up with the best candidates I could have picked to be running mate. Charlene is smart. Charlene has the same values as I: integrity, hard work, resilience. O'Neill, we will go to every part of this country in the next 4 months. The reason why I'm confident we'll win.
You count the days to elections, right?
Yes.
131 days. 131 days.
Okay, close.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm confident we'll win is because we'll do the work.
Where are you getting your confidence from?
Because you see, you focus on something you can control, and I don't focus on something I can't control. Right? I can control how I spend my time. I can control how hard I work. I can control where I spend resources, and we will go everywhere. We will make the case. We will spend the resources necessary so that Liberians will have no excuse but to support us come October 10 next year. So I'm confident because we'll do the work. We'll make the case. We got a strategy. We know our path to victory. We know which districts we want to focus on. We know which communities. Look, there are some districts in the country present where we'll win. So we'll not spend too much time there because we're winning. There's some district from our plan will win. We'll visit everywhere.
And you have your own.
Then we have those that can go either way. We'll spend a lot, and then we have those we think we can win. So we're very clear. There's a strategy. There's a plan. We're not doing this, by accident. We've been very deliberate, and because that's how I like to operate. Even what we're doing when we think about the country, we got Liberians working on educational policy, healthcare policy. What are we going to do? How are we going to raise the money? How are we going to find the resources? So these things are all happening. We're doing it, and the reason I'm confident with because we'll do the work. We have a plan. We have a strategy. We'll execute it, and kind of October 10 again. Will surprise you.
You have a female on your TK. What does it mean for female? I mean, back to this. There was this Hugh back. I remember speaking with Victoria Toluku, which he said, yes, I prefer a female, not knowing that Shannon was going to pop up on the TK. Having a female on your TK, women into politics.
Absolutely. So I've been very consistent, and you mentioned Vic. Vic is a strong supporter of mine. A woman is running for the Senate in Masrado. But I've been very consistent that I wanted a woman. That's my. I said, look, it's not a must, but it's a preference.
That's why you're telling the executive committee doing the vetting.
Correct.
You prefer a woman.
I prefer a woman.
Okay.
Why? And because several reasons, right? First of all, women are half of the population. In fact, a little bit more than half. And I remind Liberians, the people on the radio, you can't see my hand, but you can't clap with your one hand.
I mean, you're live on the screen, so you're watching on the real TV.
Social media,
yes,
TV.
Yeah.
You can't clap with your one hand. You gotta clap with two hands, right?
Yeah.
So men are one hand.
Okay.
And you want to clap, you gotta bring the other hand to clap, right? That's one. But the other, again, I mentioned I left facts and data and evidence. There is empirical evidence. There's research that has been done that when women are involved in decision making, whether it's in government or politics, whether it's in business, whether it's in civil society, When women are involved, those organizations, those governments, those civil society units, they do better when women are at the table, when they participate in. So it's not like we're doing women a favor. Actually, we do ourselves a favor by making sure women are participating in decision making for the country or whatever organization you're in. So very important that women are at the table. That we want to clap, we need both hands. And because Liberia will be better off by having a woman at the very senior levels when decisions are being made. And we have one of the best Liberian women, being smart, intelligent, tenacious, exposed, means well, cares for our country and our people, legal scholar. I can go on and on and on. Have the right woman. So it's very exciting.
So
It's been overwhelming. Maybe some negative, of course, but that's life.
Mr. Cummings, are you also taking this to the legislative tickets, because the running mate is a female? That's fine, and you said you had thought it would be, and finally it happened for you. The legislative slots, are you also seeing women as priority?
Yes. So we're working very hard on that. In fact, just yesterday, I asked the question, where are we? Because, we signed the agreement to at least 30%.
Okay.
We, of course, will strive to do more if we can, at least 30%. As of yesterday, with 43 candidates we've identified so far for the 73 seats, 27%, I think 12 of them are women. So we're pushing towards that 30%. We may or may not get there, but we're trying hard to get there. So yes, excellent question. And let me also add to that, in the executive branch, when we win in terms of appointments, particularly at the senior cabinet level, again, minimum 30%, and we strive to do more. And there again, we will have more flexibility to make sure we hit that number.
Great. So 131 days to election. What can you say to listening up to you? You're playing for a better Liberia. I mean, you have some sleepless nights. They're playing for the economy. What can you say to them?
So the first thing I would say, and then I'll answer your question, is we do our own polling, and I'm sure many other people do polling. And even with only 131 days to go, a little over 4 months, most Liberians are still undecided. Something like 60% have not made up their mind. So for me,
that's who to vote for.
That's the opportunity, right? And I think even 66% of women have not decided. And it's also a fact in 2017 actual votes and in our polling, many of my supporters tend to be women. Maybe it's my good luck, so I don't know. but most of my supporters
there is a big choking you for that.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so that's all good news for us. But very
you're playing for the economy.
Message.
Yes, most time I see you want to fix the country. You want to fix this country. Now, CPP is a brand fixer. They have done become the most talk about on the social media. You got your lesson plan and all of that. You got the Ministry of Transport hot seat for that already. What's your plan for the economy?
Yeah, but by the way, I don't know. I will answer your question, but let me just
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm relaxing. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know why people are going after the Minister of Transport. I mean, in Liberia, anybody should have a right to have a personal license plate. Why is that an issue? Let me say to Liberian people, when I become president, whether you're in government, I won't care whether you support me or not. If you're Liberian, you have a right to a point of view. You have a right to take your side. That's the kind of Liberian we want. I don't care whether you're CDC, you're UP, Liberty, you LPP, it doesn't matter. If you're Liberian, you're doing your job, you qualify, it doesn't matter. And this nonsense, this silliness, they're going after them. The Minister of Justice probably even know that we got to listen to, right? I mean, it's just silly. But anyway, that's why we got to change the people running the country today. On the economy, so I often say the economy that my area, everybody got an area, right? So
we want to fix the economy.
We want to fix the economy. We want to fix Liberia.
You said the economy is damaged. How can you fix it?
So let's just establish some facts.
Go ahead.
Right? It is a fact today that Liberian salaries were reduced by this president. Fact. It is also a fact that people are not getting paid regularly. Fact. It's also a fact that unemployment has increased since the president came to power. In fact, it's also important to find out that the value of the Liberian dollar, the currency, has devalued since he became president. Fact. When you ask Liberians, are you better off today than you were 5 years ago? Majority of Liberians say they are worse off than they were. These are all the reasons why President Weah will be a one-term president, because these are all facts. These are not just electoral conversations. So how are we going to fix the economy? All of this I'm going to talk about what we'll do. So it's not in any particular order. But first thing, we got to restore good governance to the country. Investors will not come to the country if they believe the governance is bad, that corruption is rampant, that the judiciary is not independent, that there's no certainty of agreement. We got to fix the regulatory environment. We got to fix the judicial environment. We got to make our environment business friendly for Liberian businesses and for foreign businesses. If you don't fix the environment, I don't care what you do, people are not bringing money, real legitimate investors. So we'll fix the environment. We'll fix the judiciary. There will be respect for the rule of law. People will feel safe in the country. Those things are fundamental to growing the economy. 1, 2, we will start to pay people their salaries regularly. If you start to pay people their salaries regularly, O'Neill, they will be able to feed themselves. They will be able to buy food, pay their rent. There's what they call a multiply effect of that. That, by definition, will help to grow the economy. Then we measure in our 100-day plan. We will make macro loans available for Liberian businesses, all the way from market women to small businesses, so they can grow and fuel their businesses. We'll introduce a national youth service program, again, to get our young people off the street. We'll focus on youth entrepreneurship. You know, we got the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I'm thinking about youth sports and entrepreneurship, because we want our young people to start small businesses. We want to train them. We want to facilitate them. That will help to grow the economy. We want to invest in agriculture, in farming, to make it profitable for farmers so we can feed ourselves. That will create jobs. That will help to grow the economy. We got 350 miles of beaches in this country. We got tourism, exactly. We got waterfalls. We got some of the best forests. We will focus on ecotourism. If you Google, I think we're in the top 5 places of surfing in our country. Robertsport will come up. So tourism. So these are all the things we'll do, we'll focus on. And we got people working on exactly how we should start doing it, how we'll fund it. And that will start to grow the economy. That will start to reduce the suffering. So these are just some examples. We'll be publishing in the next few weeks our 100-day plan. We'll make it public.
Officially. Your 100-day plan. 100 days.
In 100 days, 100 days we'll publish. We'll be publishing what we're calling our contract with Liberia.
So you want to sign a contract?
We want to sign a contract with Liberia that's over 6 years. This is what you should hold us responsible for. And we'll be publishing that in the next month or so.
So since Mr. Cummings is still talking about the economy, I want to ask, this is something that is being discussed in the West African sub-region, this issue of single currency for the region. What is your take on it?
I think we should work towards it. It should be an aspiration. But I think we need to be methodical about how we get there. Because if you're going to have a single currency, you need to synchronize your economic policies. You need to synchronize your micro and macroeconomic policies. So if you think about the EU, what we don't want to have happen is that the EU went to a single currency, and you had a country like Greece that was struggling because of the economic policies of the Greek, and it wasn't synchronized. I don't want Liberia to be the Greece of Europe. Right? So yes, we should work towards it. It should be our goal and aspirations, but we should do it in a synchronized fashion. Our economic policy should be synchronized, and we should make sure no one country, regardless of size, is disadvantaged in that process. So we want to make sure Liberia is not disadvantaged as we move towards a single currency, but we should work towards that, because then it's easier to do trade amongst ourselves, for goods and services to move across, for people to move across the sub-region, right? But it's not something we should, do loosely, without thinking through, planning through. And I want to make sure in that process, Liberia benefits, and we don't become the.
Will you be a key pusher of that if you are president?
I would advocate that in the right way, in the process. Set a goal, set a timeline, set milestones, what things needs to happen in every country. as we move towards a single currency.
Great. Just to announce, this broadcast has been really on Sky 107.1, Truth FM, Sackley as well, carrying us live. Yes, you talk about a contract. Have you listened to the citizens say we have a 12-year contract with President Joshua? You talking about signing a contract? I mean, when you hear this kind of statement, what runs to your mind? 12-year contract.
What result?
Even printed a t-shirt. 12-year contract.
What results? Their contract is a political statement.
A political statement.
Because they want 12 years. But what have this done in the last almost 6 years now? So that's what I'm saying. When you ask Liberians, are you better off or worse off than you were 5 years ago? Majority of the people say they're worse off. O'Neill. And again, I mentioned these are facts. Do savers ask the seditions? Are they paying civil service regularly every month?
I was driving on the boulevard, so 1,000 reasons to relay Joshua. Have you seen that billboard?
I've not seen that billboard.
Okay, you need to take a list just before the boulevard.
But it'll be all nonsense.
You call that nonsense?
It will be.
That's why I bring up the 12-year contract because
it will be all nonsense. Are people getting paid regularly? Are drugs in the hospital and clinics? Is corruption more than it ever was before? Is unemployment higher? Is the Liberian dollar worth less today than it was when it came to power? And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Liberians will resolve, we will not really present we are. So that's why I'm confident we'll do the work, we'll make the case, we'll be successful.
People talk about stronghold nowadays. Now, what can I say with Alexander been in the comments in the CPP? People talk about Lofa, Nimba, we'll fight all these counties, Gamba. So you care to make mention or you just entire 15 counties?
So we are running a national campaign. Our stronghold are women and youth, cut across counties. I mentioned we came in third in Maserado in 2017. We will come in first or second. In fact, I think we'll win Maserado this time around.
You sure about that?
I'm very confident of that. We will win the Bassa Belt, what they call Bassa Land. We will win the Southeast. President, we need to be worried about the Southeast, about River G, about Maryland, about Grand Crew. We'll wrestle over. In fact, I'm going to the Southeast soon to go, and I'll go multiple times. When you look at the road conditions, people get stuck. Southeast is cut off from the rest of the country. So that's how we think about this election. As I mentioned, we district by district, we kind of know where our stronghold is, where we're going to spend time, where we're going to spend resources, where we got good chance. We know those districts where we think the president will win this particular district or the president will not. We know that. And we know where we need to compete. And we know where our strong districts are. And again, for competitive reasons, we can't make that public, but everybody knows we're very clear.
You don't think people in this area will think you are excluding them?
No, we're not going to exclude anybody. We will go and compete everywhere, but we'll compete some places more than others.
Okay.
That's just what we'll do. Some places will spend more time, more resources. Some places will spend less.
When you drive around Monroe, what do you see? What runs to your mind? You're driving just around the city.
Well, first of all, is the dirt. Unfortunately, the trash, the lack of sanitation. Again, another reason why the president will lose Maserado.
Okay.
Because something as basic as picking up the trash, it's not happening. This is we're in 2023. We're in the 21st century. Liberians, with the government can take care of trash. What kind of country is this, right? So then the traffic and congestion, nobody follows the traffic rules.
I mean, road construction.
Everybody their turn lane. No, road construction is good. It's happening. That's not a bad thing, right? But is that enough? Is that the only thing, right? We need roads, no question about it, right? But roads by themselves will not feed people. Again, are you paying people regularly? Did you cut their salaries or not? When they go to the clinics, are there drugs in the clinics, right? So roads are important. Road construction is happening. That's not a bad thing, but it is not enough. It is not sufficient. We can do better. We deserve better. We must demand more of ourselves and more of our leaders. So dirt, traffic, congestion, suffering, people hungry. That's what we see around the country, and including in Monrovia and Mosul.
Mr. Cummings.
National scene quickly on the national scene, like we're hearing the news for the wrong reason a couple of days ago. This issue of the drugs case. What's your take on the recent 100 million drugs case that was lost by the governor of Liberia? Do you still trust the justice system? I mean, the cable news network, you see it on the BBC or run of this news. Despite the international press, and yet and still, this case was thrown out.
I would say shame on, shame on, shame on, shame on President Weah and the executive branch, the Ministry of Justice, and the judicial system. Shame on them. Shame on them. This case, the evidence was overwhelming. The facts were there. And this is why you have to give some credence, some belief to the allegation that there's some people in government benefiting from these drugs that is killing our young people, killing the people of Liberia. When this thing was a clear cut, the evidence, the facts were there, and somehow between the executive branch led by President Weah, the Ministry of Justice, the judicial system, these people went free. Shame on them, shame on us. And again, it reinforces. I don't have any facts. These are allegations, but it reinforces the sense of allegation that there are some big hands here, some big hands maybe benefiting from the drugs coming to Liberia, that killing our people, killing our young people. And again, shame on them, shame on us. It's an embarrassment to our country. Again, another reason why the Liberian people would not re-elect President Weah and the CDC government in October this year.
Okay, so
another reason why
you promised Liberian people you published the 100 days, the first 100 days to become president.
Correct.
Imagine me calling you. Good morning to the Zana Beno the comments, President of the Republic of Liberia on the show in the morning. Good to you.
Absolutely, and look, maybe we should. And I promised a few radio stations, so we gotta put a schedule together. But the end of my 100 days, after we publish it, I should come back here, with the 100-day plan. We should see which ones we can check off.
Yeah. So this question, Mr. Cummings, let's look at your policy on government of inclusion. This has been one of the things a lot of people believe that the current administration is too political. Will you be giving jobs only to your partisans or people from parties who will pledge support or will support your presidency? Let's look at that.
We are going to have a government of inclusion. I think they got rid of the Minister of Post and Telecommunications.
You could have done the same thing.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
we absolutely not.
Going for re-election?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Going for re-election?
Absolutely
not.
not.
Your cabinet.
Absolutely not.
Supporting another political party.
Absolutely not. No. It's his or her right.
Okay.
To do that. Shame on them. Shame on him that he did. And what it reflects, it will reflect on me that I'm obviously that means I'm not doing a good job. If my own cabinet minister decides to go join somebody else, that would not happen to Cummings cabinet. None of my cabinet ministers would betray me. He or she would stay in the government. Recently, Charlene's Constable Bromskin's fiance was constructively dismissed at the central bank. So to answer your question, that would not happen. The Liberia I described, and you guys just give me literally 90 seconds. The Liberia I want us to aspire to as a people. I often describe this bowl of rice we all eat from, called Liberia. This rice is our staple food. I know the buyers, they do GB, but some people do more, but not everybody eat rice. In this bowl of rice called Liberia, you have good jobs, you have good education system, good healthcare, good roads, electricity, running water, investment in farming, ecotourism we mentioned, job creation, and we want to make that bowl of rice bigger. The Cummings administration to make that bowl of rice bigger, more opportunities. And we will guarantee every Liberian the right to put their hand in a bowl of rice. Because when you think about it, O'Neill, you don't choose your tribe. You don't choose that you're born of Gio, Kribo, Congo, Bassa, Gola, Mandingo. Not your choice. God decides that. You don't choose whether you're born a man, woman, your gender. You don't choose when you're born young or old. You don't choose the religion you're born into. So none of those things should give you advantage or disadvantage over anybody for eating that bowl of rice. So Cummings Boston administration will guarantee everybody the right. The only thing that will stop you is you got to obey the law. You got to follow the rules. If you rape, if you steal, if you kill, you break the law, we'll not let you put your hand in that bowl of rice because you can make that choice. You can't choose your tribe. You can't choose your gender. You can't choose the religion you're born into, but you can choose whether you obey the law or not. If you won't be low, you're not put your hand at bull arrest. The other thing will limit you if you're lazy. If you're not strong, you're lazy, you're not immersed right. But we'll crew the bull arrest and we'll guarantee everyone bull arrest. So I don't care whether you CDC. I want citizens to hear me. I don't care what you UP. I want you people to hear me. Or you LPP or wherever your P is. You MDR, wherever it is. If you're Liberian, your qualification though, you gotta be qualified. You gotta be qualified. Okay. Not because you're ASC and you're not qualified. Okay. Today, if you're not CDC, you can't put your hand in the ball arrest.
You're telling your supporter that one.
I'm telling them that
the ANC or Liberty
the ANC people, they gotta be qualified.
Okay, be qualified.
They gotta be qualified.
Before you put your hand in the ball arrest.
You gotta be qualified. You gotta earn the right to put your hand in the ball arrest. If you, whatever you are, I don't care. You gotta be qualified and you gotta follow the rules. Otherwise, we don't care. We want inclusive Liberia. Today, if you're not CDC, you can't put your hand. Anyway, you're unqualified. But you CDC, you put your hand. That's not a country we're gonna have. In the past, the Congo boys will keep the rest for themselves. We are not going to do that. If you're Liberian, you will have a right to participate and put your hand up on the red, but you gotta follow the rules. You gotta obey the law. And how much of the rice you eat, it will be up to you. If you lazy, you will not eat much. If you work hard, you will eat more rice.
Great. So we have to stick to time and take
Yes,
a few
we
calls.
do.
We have to stick to time. We have a 10 o'clock appointment. So in 5 minutes to 10, we'll call it a day today. And I'm sure we'll still have more time to election. This will not be your first time coming through on the TBS.
Exactly.
Yes. So let's get the lines activated. It's the face of the collaborating political party. I'm saying Benina because he's a good friend. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
And by the way, you still talk?
It's okay.
Maybe God just bring that question for me to ask you. Do you still talk?
It's
Do you
okay.
still talk?
We were at the.
I remember two of us came on the same flight, the Aska Air.
Correct.
Yes, it was you, Ben, and I on the VIP side. Well, I was like, yes, too cool.
It was a while ago.
Why? Then the next day I saw you in the court. I was like, wow, these two people was choking, man.
Yeah. The last time I ran into Ben and I was at the EFFL convention, the Economic Freedom Fighters in Liberia convention. Peaceful City Hall, right, not too far from here. Was the last time I saw him and I shook his hand and that sort of stuff. So, look, I don't hold these things for me. I'm not. I don't hold these things personal. I'm not a guy who grudges, who personal stuff. I move on.
Okay. So maybe God just wanted me to bring that in.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's great. I swear. Anyway, so ABC is on with us, but let's get the lines activated. Call us on the TBS this morning, 0770-153-265. We'll take calls at least for 10 minutes. You have a 10 o'clock appointment. Let's get our first call on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's do a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Patrick Flumo. I call from around the year of the and then I want to extend my sacred felicitation to your studio guest in the Zambia Coming. And then I'd like the waiter who spoke this morning respond to all the questions like a presidential material that Ogala is ready to take on the tax. Ogala is ready to face the system. So not to say more because I want to give other color the time to talk because I know they have color as a capacity about me. So I'll be thankful for God to have sent a man that Cummings to be aspiring to become the president of Liberia. So thank you.
Thank you. Ask the hard questions. You have takes came by now. Good morning.
Good morning. Shadrach came back calling from district number 10. I want to take this time to tell my political leader, thank you for educating us. We don't need Ragged Andy to tell us that this guy have had for Liberia. We know if the voting comes on top of them, it will transform our country. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marka. If you got a call from the end, you can pick.
Yes, let me pick this one. Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you. There's an oracle and a call for years of video rehab. Let me say thank you to your studio guest. But I want to ask you this question. They have some A and B. And then the question goes to Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings, you work with the Coca-Cola. I believe you serve on the least position to the highest position. If yes, then why don't you come to politics with the same mindset? Why come to politics only to go to the highest and living from the least to the highest? Because the 1,000 step becomes with a single, or 1,000 might become with a single step. So since you want to go you did not go to the top, but you step in position from the least to the highest. Why don't bring the thing into politics?
Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. Let's take this person quickly. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, that person slipped off.
From mine end 0770-153-265. Let's see if I can get this call on the line. Good morning. Morning. Wow, I keep holding the line. Good morning. Okay.
Let me take Emmett from Marka. Good morning, Emmett.
Yeah, good morning, Marka. Good morning. Good morning to Honorable Cummings. My name is Emmett Hammer and calling with Castle. Let me appreciate you, Honorable Cummings, for the level of what you could not do. But my question has to do with 131 new team for Liberia and other political frontier. What would Honorable Cummings do in Liberia, given the money as president of the Liberia? What would Honorable Cummings do to reduce the drugs that could damage the fabric of the nation within 100 days? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me squeeze in Prince Kolaka quickly. Prince, go ahead.
Thank you, Marka, and let me say good morning to Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. Like you said, I'm Prince Kolaka. Some of us have not doubted the ability of Mr. Cummings, owing to the fact that we, from a public speaking background and from a critical community, we were told that every leader should have three characteristics: the ability to change, the ability to connect, and the ability to challenge. That which he possesses all. So, and the thing about him that I always admire is he gave time frame to everything he will do if being elected. And even he's saying that there will be a contract, a contract agreement signed between him and the Liberian to do so and so thing within his first 6 years. So I think it is good, it is commendable, and he will be trusted.
Thank you, Prince. Good morning. Please, just quickly.
Yes, good morning, and good morning to Honorable Cummings in studio.
Tell us your name, where you call from, Chief.
My name is Nyosco Alio Wallo. I'm the National Vice Chairman for Mobilization and Recruitment of NBR.
Okay.
What I have this interest, foreign policy decision in a particular sector contributes a lot to the progress and decline of that sector domestically. And then I want to be specific about the security sector in Liberia. The security sector in Liberia currently is a mess up. I think that's why the president said every Liberian should be security for his or herself. Now we have information of Honorable Cummings' good relationship with the U.S., with China. And traditionally, America has had this interest in the Liberian security sector, but it is observed in recent era that China is getting very much involved with the Liberian security sector. And this is Honorable Cummings' second time running for the presidency. I would like to know what his foreign policy is like, respective to China and America's on the Liberian security sector. And then
Thank you. No time. Thank you, Chief. Yeah.
Good morning.
Thanks for your patience. Go ahead.
So kindly on you. This is Popeye Mora. I'm the National Secretary General of the International National Youth Congress. So on you, I like to appreciate Mr. Cummings, particularly when he emphasized on focusing on women and young people. I think women and young people make a huge chunk of our population in our country, and interestingly, they are also a part of the disadvantaged group of people. This is why we celebrated him when he selected a female who is considered to be within a bracket of the youthful generation, who broke the barrier between the young people and the old people to be his vice standard bearer. We take pride in him and Liberian people. I think there is no one who clearly articulates on how he wants to transform this country as compared to Mr. Cummings.
All right. Thank you. We're running out of time. Please, let's do a minute. This should be our last quarter from here. Good morning.
Good morning, O'Neill. Good morning to Mr. Cummings. My name is Emmanuel K. Barnes, and I'm a member of the Liberty Party. I listened to Mr. Cummings quite well. He's eloquent in his deliberation, all of that. But one thing I see that he lacks and falling short of is the art of unity. Today, Liberty Party is in disarray because...
That's your thing. They are far past that now. You have the CPP.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But
you are representing aspiring in district number 14, right?
Of course, I'm an aspiring district number 14, but I am a member of the Liberty Party that is this united because of explicit support that has been supported by Mr. Cummings through Musability.
Okay.
And
All right. So
I don't see him as a unifier.
okay, great. That's your view anyway. Let's pick our very last caller. This should be a complimentary call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Patrick M.G. Zakov from 335.
Firestone. Go ahead.
Okay, we need Mr. Cummings' service after the country has been rescued by JMP. Mr. Cummings, rest assured, there will be a space for you after we rescue the nation so you can help us fix other areas.
Okay. Yes. At least you're saying true everything like this, so you're calling our personal numbers so putting your true. Anyway, great. ABC. You not screen today's anyway.
No. Again, O'Neill, Marka, thank you. So let me just thank everybody who called with the compliments and support. We appreciate that. There was a question about Coca-Cola going from the least to the highest or whatever. First of all, the fact is I didn't start at the lowest level at Coca-Cola. When I joined Coca-Cola, I joined running all of Nigeria at the time, which was the second biggest Coca-Cola market in Africa. And then, we rose from there. But here's the real answer, to that question, is that if government experience was the solution to Liberia's problems, we will be the best country in the world. We will have everything we need. Because the so-called government experience has not produced results for the Liberian people. It is just a fact. We are among the least developed countries in the world, right? And we're among the oldest countries in Africa. So we bring different set of experiences, which the country needs. I keep saying you can't keep doing the same and expect different results, right? So we've been private sector experience, we've been leadership experience, we've managed. O'Neill, my last 8 years at Coca-Cola, I have responsibility for functions across the world, over 200 countries. The market value, you can Google, of Coca-Cola on the stock exchange is 260 billion US dollars. 660 billion US dollars. That's the enterprise we got to manage. So managing the Liberian economy, managing the president of Liberia is something we have to. Everywhere you got people, you got politics. You're dealing with people. You got to build teams. You got to deliver results. You got to hold people accountable. We have all of those skills, and that's what we aspire to lead our country. Emmett asked about the 100-day plan. As I mentioned, I gave some examples. We'll publish it, but whether it's to start paying people regularly, whether it's to provide microcredit, whether our national youth service program, whether it's to start fixing the trash, getting off the streets, whole list of things we'll do in the first 100 days, and we'll commit and make it public. Nesco from MDR asks about foreign policy, national security. Our foreign policy will be based on Liberia's economic self-interest. It will be focused on the economy. It will be focused on attracting foreign investors. Within the foreign ministry, we'll have people who are focused on how can we get people to come and invest in our country? How can we develop Liberia? How can we work within the region, within Monterey Union, within ECOWAS, within the African Union, with the EU, with the Americans? But it will be focused on the economy, focused on the development of our country. And of course, the traditional relationships, making sure we align with our fellow Africans, again, with ECOWAS, etc., and to provide security. He's right. I think President Weah said Liberia should get CCTV. What kind of president talks that way when one of your most fundamental duties is to secure your people? So we make sure the police, the military, they're equipped, they're well led, they have the resources so they can provide protection for us. Unity, as you mentioned, O'Neill, the Liberty Party, with the announcement of Charlene, we have now consolidated. Emmanuel needs to come back and join us. Yomli, Dylan, everybody is welcome back. Let me just say that now. No, there's no hard feelings. Let's all come together and move forward. And one of the reasons why Charlene has been an excellent choice, because she will help us and she brings that unification back to Liberty Party, back to the CPP, and I asked Emmanuel to come and join us. So let me And again, unless you have a final question, but let me end by thanking you and Marka. The conversation has been good.
Before you close up, with this
Sure.
opposition, this unity, there's a second round. There will be a second round. I'm saying probably not following that. There is this hauling and pulling between the Unity Party and the CPP on the social media, neck to neck, instead of focusing on the person you wants to replace.
Yeah, look, I believe that if there's a second round, we will be in the second round, meaning the CPP. In the unlikely case we're not, we will support the opposition. And I believe they will do the same.
You believe so?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe, look, I think particularly if we are serious about the interests of the country.
And the reason many persons have always looked at that issue is because in 2017, the late Councillor Bromsky did not outrightly declare his support to any of the two parties that went to the second round. He said, well, let Liberian people make their own decision.
And I did the same, by the way. To be honest, I like to be honest. I did the same. Although I voted for Joe, I actually made a financial contribution to him in the second round.
2017?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in public. I made a statement. Marka is right. Like, I said, look, let the ANC people decide, make up their mind.
Can you support Joseph?
I voted for Joe and I made a contribution in the second round. Yeah. It's a fact. But, this time around, I think the country is at a place now where we cannot afford to let President Weah succeed himself. And so I'm very clear in that direction. But the good news is, if there's a second round, we'll be in the second round.
Okay.
And we'll support ourselves.
All right.
But thank you. Guys, good questions, good interactions. We will come back. And I want to say to Liberians,
can you make a commitment day one of the campaign, as campaign starts officially, to come back on the True Breakfast Show?
I will come back on the True Breakfast Show. I don't want to make a commitment that I don't keep. I need to look at the schedule seriously. Because if I do, I want to keep it.
Okay.
But I will come in August, early August. It might be on the first day. We'll come in early August to have. And because we may not launch the campaign, we haven't decided. We may not launch it in Maserati. I may be somewhere out of town. That's why I don't want to.
For what Maserati, not be easy.
Oh, we'll fight one Maserati. We'll do whatever Maserati. But look, gentlemen, thank you. Liberians, listen to me. I want to thank you. We are excited about the future of our country. Charlene and I will make a big difference when given the opportunity to serve Liberians. And we commit that you will see a difference in your life almost immediately. So thank you all. God bless you. And God bless Liberia.
Great. The voice of President Ben in the comments, closing us up on this edition of the True Breakfast Show. Thanks so much for following us online. Thanks to Sky FM, Truth FM, Nimba. On behalf of the entire team, Marka Davis, Rachel Lucinin, my name is Oni Roberts. In the midst of our country friends, have a good day. Bye-bye.